So if you guys want to know about Mojtaba Khamenei, the new supreme leader, we get some pretty good clarification here. We also get clarification on, some of the internal workings of the Islamic Republic and Mossad. Let's take a listen.
خارجه است که توی بیت یه جلسه شورای دفاعی که آقای شمخانی گذاشته، خود آقای خامنه‌ای هم که توی بیته. اینو شما چجوری تعبیر میکنید؟ همزمان 3 تا 4 تا ساعت 9:30 صبح.
والا خود شورای راهبردی به اصطلاح هر شنبه جلسه ثابت داشتن. زمانی که من شورای راهبردی بودم هر شنبه صبح جلسه داشتیم، منتها در ساختمانی که توی خیابان پاسداران.
Okay, so it looks like that's pretty much just regular talk that they're saying.
No, let me tell you what this part is. How about this? I'll just explain to you the most key points, okay?
Yeah, please do.
This part, he's talking about the interviewer is asking, like, basically, why were they so many meetings happening at the same time in the office of the supreme leadership with the most important people, separate meeting? You had the supreme leader. So guys, this is so bizarre. The day before, the Israeli fighter jet killed Ali Khamenei. Everybody was wondering if this is what's about to happen. In fact, it was such a big expectation that if you go on my Persian channel, you can see the cover is Khamenei in his bunker worried, and we're like, are they gonna hit the supreme leader? The day before they cut the internet and killed supreme leader, that was the cover of our Persian channel. Everybody was waiting for that. So given that was what everybody was talking about, whether or not they're going to go in and kill Ali Khamenei, because so many signs suggested that something was about to happen. So we saw it coming. And then it all of a sudden happened. But given that this was such a big expectation of it happening, why did all of this happen? We had the supreme leader leave his bunker, come one level higher. We had the supreme leader bring his grandchild, little baby girl, next to himself. We had IRGC leaders, top IRGC leaders, having a meeting in the same compound. As if they're like, let's make this easy for the Israelis. Let's all get it. We had most important politicians also in a separate meeting. In the same compound. These were not different places. They're all. So we had Khamenei, IRGC meeting, politicians, all came out and on the same time, already in the same place for Israelis to just take them all out with one bombardment. So the interviewer is basically asking, but why? Why were you doing this? The correct answer is, so he's going to lie. But the correct answer is because for some reason they failed for the Americans tricking them into saying this is over, that we're going to negotiate with you. And Khamenei, and they all believed it, right? But even if you believed it, why did you all get into the same goddamn area? Like, have you lost your minds, right? But anyways, I'm not complaining. So he asks them that, and Araghchi, first he says, like, well, these meetings are scheduled from before anyways. This is something that happens all the time. So basically non-answer. But then he switches the question. He's like, the real question is who told him that this is happening? Like the infiltrator. We have spies. Hofrei etelati, which means security holes. Is that a thing in English? Right, yeah. But it's security vulnerabilities. Security vulnerabilities, that's what it means, right? That we have to figure that out. Like, we have to find the spy. So he changes the question, right? But it's interesting because they are the very people who get accused of being the spies. And now it's like, oh, we have to find the spy. And everybody is sharing this part of the interview. But Ali, in my opinion, the more interesting parts of the interview is the part that he kind of starts sneaky, kind of like not directly, but starts attacking IRGC, which is completely in line with the trend that we predicted that would happening by suggesting that they are the ones who made the decision to negotiate and stuff like that with the Americans. And also he compares the supreme leader to a teacup, like a symbolic teacup that is just there to be pretty. So do you have those parts, those segments?
Yeah, I'm sure we can find that clip. I mean, why did he compare the supreme leader of the Islamic Republic and Shia Islam to a teacup?
I mean, you should ask him that, but everyone's interpretation is that he's kind of suggesting that the supreme leader is just symbolic and is like it's just there for decoration, and it doesn't really have that much of an utility or something like that. That's what the way he was talking about it.
Okay, so let's see what he actually says. Does he?
Yeah,
God,
sure.
guys, does he really do that?
آتش پس با نظر آقا مجتبی‌ست دیگه.
So this is, under the direction of Mojtaba Khamenei, right?
ببینید اون روزها ارتباط با ایشون به شدت سخت بود.
Look, those times, those days, communicating with Mojtaba Khamenei was very difficult.
و ارتباط ما با کسانی بود که رابط بودند و مسائل از
And we communicated with middlemen. So we talked to some people, then they went and talked to Mojtaba Khamenei.
اون طریق منتقل شد.
Oh wait, that's not the clip. I'm on Araghchi teacup.
ایشونو
Come on.
همین وجود نداشت.
چون ممکنه یه بار دیگه جنگ بشه بذار اینا نگه داریم برای اون موقع.
I really want to watch the whole thing, but let's see if we can see. Maybe he says it right here.
جلسه آقای شمخانی هدف بود و دفتر آقای شیرازی هدف بود و دفتر آقای حجازی هدف بود و خود دفتر خود حضرت آقا هدف بود. اینا رو زدن سریع.
جلسه شورای معاونین وزارت هم زدن.
اون از ساختمان شاید دیگه بود.
میدونم. نه این همزمانی تعدد جلسات من طبیعی نه.
Ali,
ولی اون
علی.
البته هر ساختمان
Ali, pause it.
Yes.
I sent it to you on Telegram. I think I found it.
Okay, I found it. I found both of the things that you're talking about, actually. Okay, it's this one. Guys, it's this one. And you also sent it to me on Telegram. Thank you.
Yeah, I think that one is better. The one I sent you, just play that one on Telegram.
Okay, let's play that one.
نظامی و موافق بودن.
اصل کار نظامی.
آتش
Do you want to tell me what he just said right there?
So he says, were the military, were the armed forces, were they in agreement with you? He says, like, they're always the main people. So he's basically saying the decisions always come. So guys, in this interview, he basically said that the decisions were not made by Mojtaba. The decisions were made by IRGC. He didn't say it the way I'm saying it, but when he said this is how sneaky they are. He's basically saying, well, did Mojtaba approve this? Well, Mojtaba was not accessible at that moment. And then they're also asking him, did the IRGC, the armed forces, agree with this? He's like, the IRGC is always, like, the armed forces are always the main decision makers. So he's saying, if you're basically, without saying it, he's saying, if you're upset about anything, do you think this is the translation? Araghchi is like, you effing morons who come out and say death to Araghchi, like, oh, no to negotiations. What effing power do you think I have? Do you think I control these things? Do you think I have any power? I have no guns. I control no industry, and I have no soft power. Obviously, orders come from somewhere else. So basically saying, where are the orders coming from? He basically ruled out Mojtaba, and now he's telling us that everything is mainly based on the armed forces. So he's basically telling the stupid pro-regime anti-MOU Iranians that you idiots, IRGC is ordering everything. It's not Mojtaba, it's not me, It's the IRGC. That's what he's saying. But he's not saying it as directly as I am saying it, but that's what he means. Does that make
It
sense,
says
Ali?
this. Absolutely.
Okay.
اصل کار نظامی.
آتش‌بس پس با نظر آقا مجتبی دیگه.
Oh, okay. So he's saying, so is the ceasefire based on the opinion of Mojtaba?
Good question.
Hmm.
این چای مال خوردن یا دکور صحنه؟
نه شما بخورید داره سردم میشه. نظر آقا
So,
مجتبی دیگه.
این چای مال خوردن یا دکور صحنه؟
نه شما بخورید داره سردم میشه.
So he all of a sudden changes the question and he says, this tea that you put over here, is it for drinking or is this a decoration? That's when he asked that. So during the interview, he said that, is this for decoration or is it for drinking? And like, oh, you can drink it.
Oof. Oh man. Isn't this gonna get him flack? This is the foreign minister. And he just said that about the supreme leader. He's already hated by a lot of the people in the Islamic Republic, supporters, not to mention Iranian people. Him saying this about the supreme leader, Armin, isn't he going to get a lot of flack?
Yep.
Do you think he knew that? Do you think he knew it was going to land him this much criticism?
I if I was him, I wouldn't worry about criticism. I would be worried about my life right now. If I was him, I would not care about criticism one bit. Based on these positions he's taking, I would be sleeping with one eye open every single night.
Yeah. So there's two big confirmations in this 11 seconds. The IRGC supposedly run the show, but that's not the complete truth. And two, Mojtaba Khamenei? Who Mojtaba Khamenei? He's as decorative as this teacup. So Armin, why did he say the IRGC are the decision makers? This is Araghchi, right? That he's close to Ghalibaf?
He's
Does
playing
that have
both
anything to
sides.
do with it?
I think Araghchi is playing both sides, by the way. Ghalibaf and IRGC.
Okay.
Yeah. I do think though, I mean the segments of IRGC, not all of them. And I think the new strategy is to take the blame off of your shoulder and just basically make everybody understand that if it's happening, it has the endorsement of IRGC. How could it not? They have all the goddamn money. They have all the goddamn guns. Stop coming at me. Stop coming at Ghalibaf. Nothing can happen. It's not the supreme leader. It's not Ghalibaf. It's not Araghchi. It's not Pezeshkian. Anything that gets a stamp of approval, war, peace, negotiations, MOU, deal, whatever happens or it doesn't happen, it's the IRGC. So stop pretending like we have taken over the regime. If you want to blame, if you want to be bold, if you think you're brave coming against us, let's see how brave you are. Go and attack. If you're worried, if you're upset about the MOU, if you're upset about the negotiations, if you're upset about not responding strongly enough to the Americans and Israelis, if you're upset about not taking revenge for the blood of the supreme leader, then if you really mean it, point the finger at the actual people who make the decisions. I'm just a puppet. That's what he's saying.
Yeah, that is what he's saying. And we called that, didn't we? We called the blame game. We called him trying to adopt the snowshoe strategy where you try to disperse your weight on the snow. They're trying to disperse the blame to everyone, dragging everyone down for them to find an opportunity. There's two factions here. Ghalibaf's faction is trying to drag everyone down so that Ghalibaf can find an opportunity to get ahead, drown his opponents, get ahead. Do we have any updated info on what the IRGC might or could do? Or do you think their strategy is still the same of, hey, wait it out?
Well, okay, so the IRGC knows that if it keeps resisting in the Strait of Hormuz, in Lebanon, with enriched uranium, then the Americans will keep pounding them, even if it doesn't go as aggressively as OPEC Fury. It would be a death by 1,000 cuts, right? So they do need people like Ghalibaf to figure out a way if they could give the Americans something to back off. The problem that they have is that they're not willing to give the Americans the thing that the Americans want. Because if they do, then even if the Americans don't finish the job with them, the Israelis will. What do the Americans want? The Americans want the Strait of Hormuz to be open for forever, and the enriched uranium to be diluted and be taken out. Okay? If you give this to the United States, then even if the Americans say, like, okay, I mean, guys, I'm not saying there's going to be a deal. I'm just saying think about the mindset of IRGC. Put yourself in their position. Okay? The reason why they don't want to do a deal is honestly because they're being smart about it. If they give this to the Americans, then even if the Americans imagine in a parallel universe, that doesn't exist, we come up with a situation that the Islamic Republic is like, here, open the Strait of Hormuz, here's our enriched uranium, bring in the inspectors, destroy all the enriched uranium facility. The Americans are like, okay, good. And the Islamic Republic, you're good? We're good? The United States, like, we're good. Islamic Republic, okay, good. Like, are you going to stop hitting us? Like, yep, we got what we wanted. I'm like, okay, shake on it, deal. In this la la land, that something like this would happen, that I'm not expressing reality, okay, in this la la land. What would happen after? What would happen after is Israel would look at this or like, oh my God, this is amazing. Look at this. They're completely vulnerable. You have taken everything. So you have a deal with the Americans and you prepare them for me to finish the job. There's nothing. Like, you basically, what you have done, you have completely disarmed the Islamic Republic. You have defanged them. You've left them like sitting ducks over there with nothing to deter. There's nothing to deter. So Israel was like, this is like a walk in the park for me. I was like, let me go and hit this and hit that. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Like, it would be like stealing candy from a baby. That's how easy. I mean, it's easy already for the Israelis to do whatever they want in Iran, but this time it would be easy with close to zero consequences. So it's one thing for you to be able to do things. It's another thing for you to be able to do these things with zero consequences. And if the Americans take all of this from the Islamic Republic with deals, then they're so vulnerable that Israel could do whatever they want. And this is why, even though if IRGC wants to like allow Ghalibaf to talk to the Americans to give them something that maybe they will stop bombing us and stop killing us with 1,000 cuts, the problem is that the Americans want the thing from the Islamic Republic that the Islamic Republic would not be willing to give, because they understand that if they do that, it's over for them. So they have to choose a slow death or a fast one, right? So the fast one would be sign the deal, give everything up, and let Israel come and basically have their way with you, right? The slow one is resist and then keep getting pounded by the Americans until you get death by 1,000 cuts. I know, like, at least with the death by 1,000 cuts, we might have a chance. So let's resist. Does that make sense?
Makes sense. I completely agree. The only thing really stopping Israel this whole time are the ballistic missiles. They're a really small country, and if you dumped all your ballistic missiles on them, they would incur significant casualties. But now that their ballistic missiles are what is it, like 4% of the launches we saw during the war, 5%. Now, let's just say they're saving a lot of them. Let's say the Islamic Republic, they have cleared out a lot of the tunnels, the missile cities, they brought the missiles out. They still don't have any launchers, but let's just say during this next phase, they bring out the missile launchers and they launch another 100 at a time, if they can. Israel's number one priority, they have two in this upcoming operation. Number one, assassinate leadership. Number two, take out the missiles. Because Israel's objectives are different than the United States. The ballistic missiles can't reach the US. The number one objective for the US is the Strait of Hormuz. Number one objective for Israel is overthrowing the regime, so leadership, but then two, the ballistic missiles that reach Israel. They're going to go after those launchers. And after those launchers are gone, and the missile cities are closed again, there's really not much that the Islamic Republic has in terms of deterrence.
You also have to take into account the internal politics of each one of these. The Islamic Republic internal politics, Israeli internal politics, and American internal politics, right? So the Islamic internal politics, we have already explained that to you in great detail, and you guys, everybody who follows us, are now experts at this. Honestly, anybody who follows us is more expert at this topic than even analysts on this topic, right? Like, guys,
Easily.
there's nowhere else that you're going to get this level of detail when it comes to the internal politics of the Islamic Republic. When it comes to Israel, the main thing you need to understand is, first of all, the upcoming elections in Israel is about so many things. It's not just about Iran. Like, one of the main topics, for example, right now is whether ultra-Orthodox have to serve in the military or not. Okay, so they're dealing with a whole bunch of stuff. But when it comes to the Iran stuff, when it comes to Iran, the disagreement is not whether or not the Islamic Republic should be toppled. On that, there's an agreement. The disagreement is whose strategy is better. So in America, there's the disagreement between different segments of the American people and their representative politicians is that some people say we should have military operations against the Islamic Republic. Others are, get the F out of there. What are you doing? Like, we shouldn't be there at all. We shouldn't be involved in military operations. In Israel, so you can see that obviously in both countries are democracies, so you should expect for that to have an effect on the decision making of the leadership in the United States, given that there is not agreement on this among the populace, right? Within Israel, there is close to unanimous agreement, that the Islamic Republic needs to go, and there needs to be military operations that helps that happen. Israelis should use their military and their intelligence to get that out, make that happen. The disagreement is that your method sucks, my method works. So the motivation in the elections would be for the politicians to say, Bibi sucks at fighting against the Islamic Republic and toppling them. I would have a better plan. Or Bibi would be like, no, his plan sucks, my plan is better. So that's the environment that would be the political climate in the campaign, at least with regards to Iran and the Islamic Republic. So given that that's the motivation to show that you're more effective at toppling the Islamic Republic before the upcoming October elections, you will be motivated, if you're Bibi, for your political survival. You need to demonstrate significant blows to the Islamic Republic to remind the Israeli popular voter base that, I know what I'm doing. I'm Mr. Security, right?
It's great points.
My name is Armin Navabi. I'm an Iranian political analyst with decades of experience fighting the Islamic regime inside and outside of Iran. Make sure you follow me for more, and also make sure you join our discussion group. I'm there almost every single day. come talk to me there and the rest of the people there in our group calls. It's a great place to meet and talk to people who like talking about politics. The link is in the description and or in the bio. You could also get there by scanning the QR code on the screen. See you there.